God, my team know how I feel.
Life's an illusion, love's the dream, but I don't know what it is. Everyone's saying things to me, but I know it's okay, okay.
What is real? How do you define real?
A game, an illusion, a ride, a dream, a matrix, Maya. These are all fine ways to describe life on Earth. And there's plenty of evidence to support the illusory nature of our reality. But there's a real potential problem that can occur when this concept of reality as illusion morphs into considering life on Earth as fake.
Or you're just a faker. Name one city. Jamaica. Wrong. And I think that's a shame.
Before I start, a clear distinction must be made between two things that can be mistakenly misunderstood as fake. A, our news/history, and B, our physical/material existence. The term fake more accurately describes point A, bogus information. And the term illusory more accurately describes point B, our material existence. But neither of these things are ultimately fake, because even dreams are real in themselves. So whether we're talking about our physical, tactile, earthly experience, or the fake news and histories given to us by our media and schools, it becomes very easy to lose sight of the value of our supposedly fake experiences. I've listened to a lot of smart presenters over the years that promote the idea that we are in a game or simulation. This idea is hardly new, and I'm not here to rebut it because I agree with it. But I want to emphasize an important additional point, a paradox that must exist alongside this idea of a so-called false or illusory reality. And here it is. Everything, in fact, is real. Anyone who believes that being able to see the matrix is some kind of destination are missing a larger point and may not be as awake as they think they are. And that's because reality contains and sustains everything, including the very illusions it produces and permits, for as long as it cares to. Reality is all-encompassing. It touches and includes everything.
Mitch, do you like submarine sandwiches? All-encompassingly.
Understanding paradox is understanding and accepting that two seemingly opposite things are both not only simultaneously true, but necessarily so, and they define and require each other through their existence. This is how we get everything from one thing all at once. Singularity and multiplicity exist simultaneously, truth and lies at the same time. This is relativity among and across all things, including life and what we regard as death. You can accept it or reject it. The nature of isness has no regard for our opinion either way. If you handed over a quarter to someone, showing them the eagle side as you did so, and told them it's just an eagle coin worth 12.5 cents, they would rightfully think that something was wrong with you. So why do we consider politics and our larger reality as separate fragments instead of integrated wholes? The space that a form occupies immediately creates the negative space of its complementary opposite. Draw a single line, curved or straight, down the center of a circle, and you'll immediately notice that you did not create a left or right side, but a simultaneously divided and unified whole. The very moment you made one thing, you made two, then three. Do you see it? In actuality, this is an immediate unfolding. And the only thing that appears to delay this instant process of creation is the movement of our localized attention over time. That's a bit of a mind hump, isn't it?
Here a hump, there a hump, everywhere a hump.
Shut up. Back to life, back to reality.
Two or more things can be simultaneously true. And this very foundational balance is the ground that everything comes from and returns to. So it's a bit of a misnomer to dismiss the things we see as fake. And once again, I want to make an important distinction between fake stories in history from the supposed fakeness of our material reality. So there's no confusion as to what we're talking about here. Fake is a better description of the deliberately false accounts and lies that other people give us. Yes, a lot of our news is fake, but to the extent that it is authentically fake, making it real in that sense. This is not a light point to be thrown off. It gets to how we think about things and how we can use duality properly. Once we realize that the accounts of the reality we receive are dishonest or incomplete, our next step is to realize that behind the fakeness of our news are real, powerful motivations. Is this a semantic argument? Yes. But semantics matter because we think and consider things in words. And when we fail to appreciate the purpose of the real falsities we are exposed to, we also fail to reap the maximum benefit of recognizing their falsity in the first place. If our false realities serve no purpose at all, why would we have it? Doesn't the Matrix serve us by allowing us to know truth more fully by waking up from it? And isn't that a very real, powerful role to play? If being a physically unbound consciousness is all that we needed or wanted, what purpose would descending into a supposedly false three-dimensional material reality serve us? Why would we, or anyone, bother with material life at all? The point is that experiences matter. This is the step that comes after we acknowledge the illusory nature of reality, because this is the point where action comes into play. If it's a game, use the game, play the game, and play it well. Or don't if you happen to think that the game is evil. It's up to you. But whatever we choose to do or not do after we think we've woken up, it will at least be a decision made an octave or two higher than any of the work we've done before it. And that's a good thing. And it's a real thing. It's a real game. Alan Watts once described the challenge of embodying a persona as the challenge of living life as a genuine fake. I don't think it could be said much better than that. When we ride a roller coaster, we know going in that it's just an experience. Yet we consciously ride it anyway. The entire structure has been engineered for our safety. So the danger and the sensations of the ride is an illusion. That is, it's a strictly sense-based thing. Does that make it fake? It depends on how we consider it. But aren't all perceptible things sensations along some kind of spectrum? And what makes one experience more valid than another? That's rhetorical to chew on. Understanding that the version of reality we are told to believe is fake puts us at a unique advantage. We can get the thrills and utility from our experience while allowing it to impart the real, valuable sensations that it will. But when the sensations of life become overwhelming and overbearing, we can remind ourselves of what we already know. That life, as Bill Hicks once said, is just a ride. Because that's true too. And that's the genius of our scary, beautiful, paradoxical reality. And even through tough times, I remain grateful for it. And if you're feeling this message, I hope you can too. Because there's no avoiding some suffering while you're here on Earth. So you might as well use it. There's a place and a purpose for the sheep of our world. Are they frustrating to have around? Absolutely. But they too are part of the plan. And while their slumber costs everyone dearly, it also will produce a proportionate response, particularly for them, that will justify the costly expense of their lower level consciousness. Don't offend them, but don't worry about offending them as you move along your path. They lack the capacity to see that they can't see. Our friends, family, and neighbors who have remained in a deeper sleep than perhaps we have will pass through to the next stage at some point. They will be awakened. And when the consequences of believing lies is visited upon them, theirs will be a much more volatile, potent awakening in comparison to ours. There's value in that, and it will imprint powerfully on their soul and on our collective memory. This is the justice of our predicament, and the shock of their awakening will scale in proportion to the depth of their slumber and in proportion to their fidelity to illusions and lies. This isn't punishment, it's inevitable consequence. The so-called sheep are asleep because that's all they're prepared to handle, whether they're aware of it on some level or not. And perhaps it's not always right to try and wake them up, especially at this stage in our real game. So we needn't always pressure ourselves to educate others. Our real game will do that for us, should we lack the skill or will to do it ourselves. And finally, we should never be so cocky as to think that we aren't sheep-like in our own right. Because if we are, ourselves, awake, how would we know? I personally would rather proceed under the assumption that I am failing to perceive a huge chunk of reality myself. In fact, I know I am. So I don't mind admitting that there's a comfy pillow under my head as well. And I can only hope that the dream that is my life is at least a lucid one. Because I've yet to meet an impressive person that talks about how impressive they are. If you're already awake relative to others, meaning that you are awakened to the reality that life is an illusion, just remember that you can throw yourself at it with caution or abandon whenever you want or need to. You can play with it with intention. And when you approach life this way, you become a real player by consciously deciding how you engage with your experience. You can play it hard and play seriously when you want to, and relax when you need to. All the while, you're making progress and leveling up. And when you level up this way, aligned with pure motivations and intentions, the entire world benefits from it. Your friends, your family, everyone in your orbit. And it happens automatically by the example of your life, and not egotistically. When we play this way, we get the benefit of our experiences and its challenges, but we also allow ourselves the breaks we need when it's time to take a break. It lets us recharge our bodies and lower our stress so we can do it again. And all the while, approaching perfection. Before I check out for today, a tip of the hat to the conscious creators and our teachers who've passed beyond time, leaving behind their words and wisdom. People who inspire me and others, and have pointed out that the truth of our reality goes beyond the surface, and that it is our work to seek the truth, which will happen on time, in time. Next episode will be lighter, but hopefully sufficiently real enough for you. Thanks for listening.